Good work, good work, good work. Work, good work, good work. You sure you want to say something fast?
So I don't think I'm getting a refund. So do me a favor and take a couple of bottles with you.
Michael, thank you again for this beautiful. Thank you.
Michael, ja gewalt, ja Rebbe.
Hey, but I want to say something. Shlomo just put something together that was amazing for me. I work with part of my job is being a chaplain at the college, and some of the Jewish students are actually, even though they're not so much allowed in Yiddishkeit, they come with like moral questions, you know, even the non-Jewish students come with moral questions. And in college, a big deal is sexuality. Okay, you don't mind if I talk about this just for a minute?
Okay, if you make it short.
Big deal. Sexuality. Big deal is sexuality, and what I say to them is that in Pirkei Avot, they give the example of what is love that doesn't last, right? The love that doesn't last, the example they give is between Amram and Tamar.
Amnon.
Sorry, Amram. Amnon and Tamar, right? Amnon and Tamar were half brother and sister, and of children of King David. And the story is that Amnon loved Tamar, that is, he wanted Tamar, and he pursued her. And the more that he pursued her, the more she avoided him. This was mamash not it. And the more she avoided him, the more his love grew. And finally, in the end, it's a terrible story. In the end of the story, he takes her, he has her, and then it says that all of his love turned to hate. And it's a very interesting insight into human sexuality. And what I say to my students is that that the problem is that sexuality, like light, is one of the border elements between the world of the physical and the world of the spiritual. What it means is that when you have a sexual love, you go in with your body wants to have a peak experience, but your neshama also wants to have a peak experience. So when you're in an atmosphere of kedusha, you go in with your body and your neshama, and you have your peak experience, and your whole being is happy. When you go in and there's no kedusha, your body has this peak experience, and your neshama is mamish gasping on the sand, and it's a terrible thing. And I could never really totally bring it together until you just said what you said. There's a piece of learning they gave us over at the seminary that said, and I thought it was so disgusting. They said that the thing about sexuality is the more you feed it, the hungrier it is, and less you feed it, the less hungry it is. And all the boys in the yeshiva think that this means you shouldn't feel too sexual. But Shlomo, you just brought it home. Because what you said about hunger, about that you sustain us with hunger, proves that God made love between people so that we should understand a little bit more about what the world of Kedusha is about. So, mamish.
The Borelei, I think you can make it even long, because I tell you what, I have to say something. I very, very much avoid the word sex when I talk to people. I'll tell you why. Because when I began my humble career, I see that rabbis think that, let's say, the word Shabbos is not a drawing card. The word Yiddishkeit is not a drawing card. The only drawing card in the world is sex. Right? And his mamish made me vomit. So I have nothing against it. Just one rabbi told me once, I asked him, how many people come Friday night to shul? He says, we don't have a minyan. He says with glowing eyes, but this weekend we'll have 500. I says, well, how will you suddenly have 500? Because I'm talking about sex in the Bible, right? That means Shabbos is not drawing, right? Sex is drawing. So you see, if I would ever, God forbid, advertise, I'm giving a course on sexuality in the Bible, I'll be ashamed. The Torah is not drawing you, but sex is drawing you, you know? But you see what it is. You're 100% right. That's what it is. If you don't love the person, you just want to gratify yourself, then after you did it. If I like schnitzel, right? I eat 12 pieces of schnitzel. I don't want to see it for the rest of my life, right? But if I love somebody with all my heart, the more closer I get to them, the more I'm hungry for it. Like there's some people, you want to meet them, and then when you meet them, you had enough for 100 years, right? Because there was no soul relationship. And sometimes, you know, just 100% sure. I mean, this Torah from Ishbitzer, that God sustains us with hunger, can change somebody's life in a million ways, you know. I'll tell you something. Take all the university students. What do they do after the exams are over? They don't ever want to open a book again, right? They don't ever want to open a book again. What's if you study Torah? Come out. When you go on vacation, you take all the Gemaras with you, you know? You know, and my father was very, very close to the old Telzerov. The old Telzerov, I mean, if I'll tell you all night about his, first of all, he was mamish a king. You know, he was a king. You know how much he knew mathematics? It was already under communists between the First World War and the Second. They had a problem in mathematics at the University of St. Petersburg. They couldn't solve it. And they remembered that one time, many years ago, there was a young boy from Tels, 15 years old, and he knew more mathematics than all the professors. So they sent him a letter to Tels, which is a little village in the yeshiva, and they told him to come. So anyway, so he told my father like this. My father asked him, what do you do on your vacation? He says, vacation? It's the best part of my life. Because he had a little house by the water in Lithuania. You know, if you know about Lithuania, you know, there's Danzig, then the little strip on the ocean, and one of those villages is called Plungyan. So he says we went to a house by the ocean, and then, you know, in the city, I'm the rabbi, I cannot learn all the time, to talk to people. On vacation, it's the best time. I can really study for 18 hours. Right? So he says, the first minute I come to Plungyan, I'm walking up and down the beach to find the best place for me. I bring down a chair and a table under a tree, and I'm learning 18 hours. And this is my paradise. Unbelievable. You know why when I read a book on physics or on psychology, I don't kiss the book when I finish reading it? Because I had enough, right? I'm sitting there for 5 hours, scratching away, you know. When I study Gemara, I kiss it at the end. So, I'm so sorry. I have to close the book for a few minutes because I'm so tired. But if I could, I don't ever want to close the book, you know. Why do you kiss someone and you say goodbye? Because I wish I could spend with you right now 1,000 years. The only thing is, I can't, so, you know, it's the deepest, you know. It's the deepest. I learned there's a medrash which blew my mind. And one of the rabbis is quoting it. The medrash says, all the kisses in the world are not so meaningful. There are only 2 kisses who count. When you say hello, when you say goodbye. Is that awesome? The medrash says. Did I tell you that the Heilige Rimmenhofer meets the Heilige Rishner? And when they say goodbye, the Rishner kissed the Rimmenhofer, but the Rimmenhofer didn't kiss him back. So the Chassidim said to the Heilige Rimmenhofer, Kapescu, what happened? You okay? Where are you going?
I just don't want to disturb you.
You're not disturbing us. If you leave here, you'll be so broken. You better stay. You hear, friends? He says, I want you to know that the secret of kissing, they're giving it over from heaven only to 1 or 2 tzaddikim in the world. And this generation was given over to the Rishon. He says, but I was not privileged yet to know the secret of kissing. Unbelievable. You know? So it's a deep thing, you know. I will tell you one more reason why I really never, in my learning, I never mentioned the word sex. Not that I'm against, but I'm not. I'll tell you why. Because we're living in a world where the world thinks the less private it is, the healthier it is. Well, today you talk about everything, right? There is nothing left unsaid. And the way you said it is so coarse and so stupid, right? Mamish, the world has the power to make everything into a garbage pail. And I'm really anti-garbage pail. You know what Rav Nachman says? There are two things in the world which are the holiest. Money and sex. Do you know this? The two are holy, the two most, have the most energy in the world. Is money and sex. But the world doesn't know what to do with it. Holy Hashem, his grandson.